And Ed will be talking about the Thompson mobile app. I don't have a bio for Ed, but I think everyone knows Ed.
Yeah.
And he can probably provide his own bio to a certain point. So Ed, you want to take us through it?
Sure, yeah, okay, yeah. Thanks for coming, everybody. Okay, so the Thompson Guide. So we'll just go quickly through what it is exactly. So the actual name of it is a Thompson Guide mobile app. And it's an easy-to-use, robust app for smartphones and tablets. Designed with Thompson, Manitoba, always first in mind. It's an app about Thompson, period, and surrounding area. It's a tool for the community, local businesses, and visitors to use while they're in Thompson. It can be a disposable app, as in people come to visit, they may not want it anymore, so they can just remove it from their device, no problem. Has a global presence, and when I was doing my homework, when I was doing this presentation, it kind of shocked me a little bit to see how much of a global presence there is. And one of the key things is always free to download. The Thompson Guide has been downloaded in over 31 different countries around the world. And here's a list of them. Of course, Canada, United Kingdom, the States, Russia, Austria, China. China's a big one too, because we're anticipating, we being northern Manitoba, is anticipating having a lot of tourist activity coming from China in the next little while. Germany also loves us as well, and they're up there. Hong Kong, Indonesia, Netherlands. That's a lot for people who are just interested in Thompson, which is, I'm assuming that's why they're downloading it. As of June 2016, this is interesting too. As of June 2016, there were over 2 million apps in the Apple App Store. Apple takes a very small percentage. Anybody who has apps on their phone will see featured apps. The Thompson Guide has been a featured app since its addition to the Apple Store when I first originally put it in there in November 2015, so anniversary is coming up 1 year, which is almost unheard of. And here we go, yes?
So how does that happen?
They decide. What they did was, we take a look at the slide there, they decided to have an Explore Western Canada section, and they decided that, right there, decided that they wanted to put the Thompson app on there. Yeah, so it's been a featured app for quite some time, and it's something to be very proud of for the people that helped develop it. So here's the card that's in front of you. Should be in front of you. This is it's not a business card. It's I call it a promo card, and this is a card that would be later on. We'll talk about this a little bit. You'd be handing out as a business. You'd be handing out to your customers. One example is the Meridian Hotel hands it out when people check in, if they're from out of town or even they're from in town. They get a Thompson Guide promo card. So it's got the keywords on it to download. It's got information to contact the people at Thompson Guide, info@thompsonguide.ca, what stores it's in, and the back of the card is interesting too. So there's our mascot there, Justin Beaver, and we have basically a list of people who might be interested by using the app or to use the app. Tourist visitors, guests, UCN students, maybe people who have been to the city for their first time. It's living here. It's sometimes hard to wrap our brain around. People from the surrounding area, this is like the big city to them. So a lot of people may not know their way around, etc. That's all included in the app as well. People coming for medical services, people maybe who have just moved to Thompson, especially from other countries. Contractors, this is a good app for contractors. However, there is actually a contractor app done by us as well, which is the Meridian Hotel app, but this one's a little more robust. Thompson residents, I've heard from several people, yeah, I've lived here for 30 years, I don't need to whatever, and I'm like, do you know the phone number to Tom's? And they're like, no, and I'm like, yeah, then it's for you, right? Because you just look Tom's up in the directory, which I'll show you in a minute, and a couple of taps and your phone is calling Tom's for you. You don't even have to know the phone number. You'll never have to look for a number for a pizza delivery ever again. Basically anyone who is in Thompson, and didn't I just put the, yeah, I know, right on, right? And the many, many more. And especially after a few beers, right? You want to be looking numbers up. So I'm going to give you a brief tour of the app. I was going to do it live, but sometimes that doesn't work so good, so I did some slides instead. This is the splash screen. So when you load the app, or you launch the app for the first time, the first thing you generally see is what's called a splash screen, and it kind of holds your attention while the background stuff is working to launch the app. This is something that businesses can purchase. Right now we have Delights candles and soaps, which you can purchase in the gift boutique just outside if you like, or go and smell them if you want. So this always launches up. So you can see how this would be a very, very valuable piece of real estate for anybody who decides that they want to do some advertising on the app, because every time you launch it, you have to look at that. This is a home screen. This is the first screen that you'll see. This is not two screens, it's one screen, but you would normally just scroll up with your finger. So it's, if you scroll, this is everything that you would see. And I'm going to take you through a few of these. This is the, so if on that screen you tapped on attractions, you'd come to here. I then tapped on Heritage North, and this is what their listing looks like. They have 4 images, which you can rotate by sliding your finger or just tapping on them. They have a really well built out about section. You can phone them by tapping on call. You can email them by tapping on email. The little blue F is for their Facebook page, and the red link there is for their website. If you tap on here, you get that. It's a map, and this is one of the really big, awesome things about this app is anywhere in Thompson, wherever you happen to be, it'll draw you a map to Heritage North. So it's drawing a map directly to the front door of your business, which I think is pretty amazing, and it's a no-brainer that businesses would want to hook up with the app and have that functionality. Yeah, it's GPS. Yeah, so I was here when I did this, and it drew me a map, but it also, down here, it also gives you like actually written instructions. So if you have a co-pilot or a navigator, they can read it out to you. Lodging is another example, right under attractions. So I selected here, and then there's 2 types of, and then we get to here. So we'll take a minute and talk about that for a second. So there's a nice picture of the Meridian Hotel there. Underneath there's the little wolf. The two types of listings on here are standard, which is the wolf. So anybody you see as a wolf is a standard listing. It's free. You get your phone number, the city, and the name of your business on there for free. But you get the little green wolf as well. If you upgrade to enhanced, you get an image of your business or whatever image it is that you want to put on there, and a whole lot of other good stuff. Such as, this is theirs built out. So it's similar to what was happening with Heritage North Museum, because I gave them a complimentary listing because they need to be on here, and they're, it's a not-for-profit. So this is all about community too, and we'll get there. So there's a picture of part of the gift shop. There's a logo on there too, if you can see underneath there. The Meridian Hotel chose to put their logo on. They've got their Facebook, their Twitter, their link to their website. You can call them to make a reservation just by tapping call, and that's their 1-800 number we put on there. You can email the general manager, and if you're like at the airport, or this was just down the street that I did that, you can find the location of the hotel, no problem at all. Keep in mind too, this is for smartphones and tablets, right? We always have our smartphones with us, so we have potentially directions to anywhere we want to go in the city, which is pretty profound. And we don't have anything like this all in one place until the Thompson guide came out. So food and drink, same kind of thing. That's not real pictures of Thompson, but almost everything will be transitioned to actual pictures of Thompson once I get out with my camera and have an opportunity to. It'll all be snow, obviously, but I'll switch to summer when it's summer. And the same thing again. So we have, what I did was I used Lone Wolf Cafe here, and once again that was built out in the same way as the other ones that we were looking at. There's the restaurant all made up for Thanksgiving last week. This week, actually, it was. So what we did was, that's this room, and they made the tables all nice with whatever on there, and we took some pictures. Once again, phone number, all that stuff, map to the map to the restaurant. So you can see how, once again, that's a no-brainer that businesses should be signing up and getting enhanced version on here, just for that alone. Shopping and services, what can I say? These are all the same. So we have the main screen here, and then we have this screen, and it just scrolls. So those are all three. They're not three different screens. They're scrolling through, and there's like everything you could possibly imagine on there. I added snow removal during the big dump there. That's how flexible this is. And on snow removal, there is a big list of people who will remove your snow. And that's free of charge because it like took a big dump, and hopefully it's not doing that the same thing right now while we're sitting in here. But if it does, you know where to find your snow removal, right? Go to the Thompson guide. There's shopping and groceries. There's the arts, which is gift of arts, and a couple other places. People who make candles, anything like that in the city. There's haircutters and salons or spas. I mean. There's also, ATMs. So if you're new and you're new to the city, or you don't know your way around and you need to go to the bank, bam, you have a guide, a map to all the ATMs in the city. Or all the ones I know about anyways. Taxi cabs, you'll never have to look for a taxi cab number again. Yes, I know you all have it memorized. But for people like me who are reasonably new to the city and haven't done that yet, I don't have to ever look for a number to dial. 24-hour gas stations. Pets, that's my, I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's my little kitten there I put on there, so that's a real Thompson picture. That includes veterinarians, it also includes Beasley Boutique, stuff like that. Airport and train, up-to-date, direct information that tells you arrivals, departures, at the airport, bus and train schedules as well. This would have come in very handy during that big snow that we just had recently. All you'd have to do is a couple of taps and you have all of that information in front of you. Is your flight delayed? Is it on time? The stuff coming in, is that on time? We've also got you covered for 511 for road conditions and emergency services numbers. That's good. That would have been helpful too, potentially for the big snow when some people were trapped in. Tow trucks, car rentals, laundry services, leisure and fitness. All the worship services available in the city are up to date and current on here. So if you need to go to church or synagogue or whatever, that's all listed there too. And then you have our friends here from the media who are all listed on radio, TV, and news. This is another very powerful feature of the app. It's the event calendar, also known as the Thompson calendar of community events. So it's the little blue guy right here. When you tap on that, you get this calendar. So it's just basically your regular kind of looking calendar. A little bit of a close-up. You can look at the 12th, which is today. The first item on there is chamber. And it's an interactive calendar, right? So if I click on or tap on the word chamber, I get this here. And you know what? I didn't have a picture and it was late at night, so I just threw my face in. But you can put, it was late. And that's like me years ago. It was the only picture I could find fast. But there you go. But you can put posters in there, anything you want, any sort of, you could actually build a little mini website in there too if you actually wanted to. If you actually tap on this, so this gives you all your information, and if it was bigger, you'd be able to see that. So if you tap on there, you get this screen here, which gives you an actual map to, in this case, it's a map to here because it's it's for this presentation, right? Special guest star, Edward Palmer, blah, 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 whatever, right? And it tells you all of the details, the time, contact information here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's Paula's information and the phone number and the address for the Chamber of Commerce. And then these are not three separate screens that scroll down again. And if you scroll down to the bottom, there would be your poster. And then there's a write-up underneath that explains like what's going on today. This is really, really a powerful thing. It's updated daily. If you have an event, people are going to be able to go right to your front door. There's a map. And I find that really important because there's still places that I haven't been because I haven't been here that long, right? And like I remember somebody was trying to tell me where the park was. Colleen's Park. What is it?
Oh, McCready.
Yeah, McCready Park. And I'm like, can you tell me how to get there? And they're just like laughing at me. And I'm like, I don't know where it is, and I can't find an address. I can't find anything or whatever, right? If I'd had this available, it would have been easy to find. I would have seen a map. That was actually for the chamber barbecue one year that I almost didn't make it to. Thank goodness Paula was driving in front of me by accident, and I followed her. Anyway, so you can scroll up. This is really powerful tool. Like I said, updated daily, and it's everything from during garage sale season. I had all the garage sales on here, so you had everything all in one place. And you'll hear me say that several times during this presentation because that's the big thing. Everything is all in one place here. Featured event. So if you didn't memorize everything that Oz just said to you, this month's featured event is Northern Business Week. So all you have to do is go onto the app, tap featured event, and it has all the information that Oz just told you for Northern Business Week. Every month it's different, and I'll be changing this up too because there's like a pretty awesome art show coming up at the Meridian Hotel actually at the end of the month. Aurora Borealis again if you missed the first one, so that'll also be on there. So community, this is new within the last week. I have charitable organizations in the city, a list of them. Not-for-profits, I have a list of those too, and added within the last couple of days because it was important to put and I didn't know where to put it, so I put it in here. Youth activities and organizations. So if you're coming new to the city and you want to, put your kids somewhere while you shop or whatever, there's information about that. There's also Boys and Girls Club, stuff like that. That's a little more substantial for people who are going to be staying here for a while. So that's great. And of course, for everybody who downloads the app, you get a free souvenir, and you just hit the snow globe over here, and it's a postcard of Thompson. A downloadable postcard of Thompson. So everybody who downloads the app gets a free postcard. How about that? So this is the important part. You guys can explore the app all you want as you see fit once you download it, but you've already downloaded it already, haven't you guys? Anyways, what's in it for me for a business? So how businesses can use the Thompson Guide to their advantage, and that's important too. The Thompson Guide business use, yeah. So once again, everything's all in one place. You can hand out the promotional cards. The example I gave was, when somebody's checking in at the hotel. If you're a doctor's office, let's say, and somebody isn't familiar with where you're located, or maybe you're the new chiropractor in town or something, you can certainly give the download keyword phrase, which is Thompson Guide, to your client when they're making the appointment. You can do it at point of sale. Walmart could hand you a card if if they had a stack there and you wanted to know how to get around the city or order a pizza or whatever, right? Front desk of hotels, we already talked to that. It's a gift to the guests checking in. Remember, this is all free, right? This is powerful for businesses, very powerful for businesses. This is all free. To your customer, whoever you're educating about this. Real estate, I think everybody here can understand how that would be very powerful for real estate agents in the city. People who are new to the city or who are maybe buying for their first time or whatever, they always get a client package. Why not give them practically the keys to the city, right? With just a little card. It's free to hand out. It's a free gift. Who doesn't like a free gift, right? Schools in UCN for new students or students coming back after many years, new employers, opportunities to level the playing field with your competitors, and this is important too, right? So if you're like if you have that beautiful little picture in there, like Meridian Hotel, and then underneath all you have is like wolves, like green wolves. If I was coming to town, I'd be like, hey, what's this? You're gonna pick the one with the image on it. Like 99% of the time probably, right? And you can opportunity to surpass your competitors. So it doesn't matter how big or small your organization is, this is a really great opportunity to be able to surpass your competition if you choose to. And yes, everything is all in one place, including the calendar of events and everything. So you have all your hockey, you have all your bingo, you have all of that stuff in the same place as you have all of these business opportunities, right? And we'll talk about the enhanced listing real quick. Here's some ideas for your enhanced listing if you choose to go with enhanced. Restaurant menus, Lone Wolf Cafe has their menus on there. So if I'm deciding where it is that I'm going to eat, I'm probably going to pick the picture that's not the wolf, and I can check out the menus and stuff and see whether it's the price points I want or the food that I like or whatever. Rate sheets can be put on here. Feature sheets can be put on here for anybody that has a feature sheet, like for houses, selling houses or trailers or whatnot. The image of your building, which is powerful too, because it's all great having a map and stuff, but if somebody tells you, oh yeah, it's in the building that looks like Bonanza, right, and you show them a picture outside the front here, it's going to be hard to miss. Otherwise, I don't know, maybe you might drive by and not notice it. Although I can't imagine how you wouldn't be able to notice a building that looks like Bonanza. You can put your hours of operations. That's cool too, right? This is going to reduce your hours on the phone with your employees, answering phone calls like what time you open today, what are your hours, that kind of thing. But better yet, holiday hours. If you want to put your holiday hours around Christmas, Thanksgiving, that sort of thing, you're going to be more popular because people aren't going to have to like phone and stuff, and there won't be any. There'll be less of the, hey, is the Walmart open today, and don't tell me to Google it. All that stuff that we see on Facebook, there'll be less of that too. Holiday hours are really, really important because people tend to get a little freaky about, if somebody has to ask whether your store is open, chances are they're not going to go, right? And if you post it on here, once again, it's all in one place, right? Sales and promotions, once again, the GPS map directly to your front door, which for goodness sake, everybody should be having that, right? Who doesn't want a map to their front door of their business? You can have app-only deals, like check out our listing on the app and get like a free piece of Bannock or something. Images of your merchandise. Donate now, which is what we're going to be doing around Christmas time. I'm going to have a section that'll be just for not-for-profits and for charitable organizations, and everything will be all in one place. So if you have an extra $5 in your bank account that you want to spend, you can go here and click on your favorite not-for-profit or charitable organization, and it'll take you to their donate page. You can have your item of the week. You know what? There's like 5 slides like this. There's so many different things that you can do. You're only limited by your imagination. You can have digital loyalty cards. You can put recipes on there, serving suggestions, like maybe for M&M Foods. Event information, maybe wine testing, Bud and Spud, that kind of thing, mapped directly to your Bud and Spud.
And I assume there's lots of ideas, but I assume there's a restriction as to how much stuff you can put. No?
No restriction. You're only limited by your imagination, Oz.
Wow.
Yeah, only limited by your imagination. School schedules is great too. This would be great for school. Customer service phone numbers, customer service emails. You can put the layout of your store. Parade routes, right? Santa Claus's parade is coming up. Parade route, a sales flyer, and it just goes on and on. Karaoke, wing night, name of band playing that evening, help wanted, product recalls, hot deals, churches, this week's reading, hymns, rummage sales, bingo, time of services, etc. Yeah, and more and more and more. What movie is playing? Etc. So these are all things that would be helpful. This is interesting too, yeah. So maps to locations would have no street address. So that would be like maybe Paint Lake Lodge, Sasky Rapids, but also the Thompson Guide had the only map to the mud bogs this year that was available, to the mud bogs. So if you had downloaded the app and took a look, you would have a map right to the new location there, which they had marked, but I drove by it like 3 times, so it wasn't marked that great. And then I followed my map, and I got there. The 2 Travel Manitoba visitor centers, you can find them through here. They're also great to be handing out at those locations too, because you'll notice actually the Travel Manitoba Visitor Center here, there's lots and lots of the app cards there for people to pick up and use as they see fit. Schools again, out of town, people coming into town for hockey, bands, other school events, recitals, that kind of thing. And even more, Project Red Nose, I think you get the idea, right? YWCA programming, Mama We Talk Friendship Center, their program, their food services, their restaurant, their menus. The very least that you need to know walking out of here is the Thompson Guide mobile app is for everyone, and I think everybody can see that. It's pretty clear. It's a very powerful tool, both for the user and also for local businesses. It's a powerful tool for, and I just said that, awesome. New features are being added with each new version, and as they come up, the necessity for them, like the snow removal, which I threw in there really quickly when it snowed like crazy. Yeah, the Thompson Guide is updated regularly to keep it current. The calendar, yeah.
Who updates that? Just that one?
I'd love to say my staff does, but it's me. But you could, anybody who has an event, email me, and I'll be happy to put it on there.
And I think businesses that have one of the specials, and they got sales on and
Right.
pictures, what's the score there?
Let us know ahead of time and we'll put that up there. Yeah. Keep in mind though, when you have the enhanced version, there is a price point attached to that. So that part is not free. Yeah, so that would be, we would have to have a discussion on monthly fees and also update charges. And you wouldn't want to be updating every day probably either. Probably once a week is enough, depending on what kind of sales you have or what type of events you're talking about.
Just one thought was, about this thing, in the past,
Yeah.
the worst thing was nobody updated your web pages, and you'd have a web page that's 2 years old, everything was old on it.
So this is updated daily.
So, and that's why I asked who does the update.
Updates are done daily. Yeah, whether it's me or whether it's one of my team, updates are done daily every single day. Whether it's the calendar or anything else on the app, updates are done every single day. Yeah. The event calendar is the only calendar that is updated daily to stay current in the city. And the Thompson Community Calendar events is exclusive to the Thompson Guide. So you don't get access to the calendar unless you actually download the app and look at it through the app. It's always free to download. For maximum benefits, we were just talking about that, Ron, enhance your listing. Justin Bieber is awesome. The reason Justin Bieber is awesome is because it's a stepping off point. Most people think that it's funny that there's Justin Bieber there. It's a mascot, and people soon will be able to recognize it. They'll know that it's Justin Bieber once it gets out there a little more. And once again, everything is all in one place. That's important to know. So, yes, we're finally done. So I want to thank the Chamber of Commerce for allowing me to come in to speak to all you guys. Meridian Hotel and Lone Wolf Cafe, who always puts on a very delicious meal and allows us to use this room at no charge. All the supporters, the current supporters of the Thompson Guide and the future ones as well. And everybody here for taking the time out of their busy schedules, because I know everybody's busy, so thank you very much for coming. And here's my contact information if anybody needs to know how to download the app and the Facebook page. Like me, please. It's facebook.com/Thompson app. Thanks, everybody.